Hey, guys.
Ricky.
Hey.
Thanks for sitting by while I ate a chicken sandwich, so I didn't have to do that on air.
We did it for the listeners.
I don't know. I think we get a lot of requests that I eat spicy chicken sandwiches live on air.
Yeah, that's a good point. You make a good point.
As long as you don't record the other end, that's fine.
That was good, Tim. I'm impressed.
I'm here all night.
Our Instagram users were busy on eBay this week.
Oh,
Yeah.
PDX Ezra decided to dabble into the occult, posting a photo on our Instagram chat about some crucifixes carved out of pennies. Is that the best way to describe that? Is that what that was?
I believe so. That's what the picture came across as to me. It's not creepy at all.
Just weird. I mean, that was a bonus to whatever cards he purchased.
yeah.
I interpreted the photo that I saw, those crucifixes were upside down. And it could only mean that someone's trying to curse him, haunt him, or somehow get back at him.
It's not good.
No, it's not good. If I received that in an eBay auction, oh boy, I'd be losing it. The ghost hunting gear would come right out.
Isn't it funny that you could receive it and it's a right side up cross and you're like, oh, they're just a religious sweet person upside down.
Yeah.
You can hear the flames of hell.
That's right. Not here on this podcast. Those pennies were upside down. So Ricky,
Yeah.
I got to thinking, you and I were in Las Vegas last May and I dragged you to the Zach Bagans Haunted Museum where we saw the Dybbuk box.
Yes, we spent an awful lot of time about that. And magically is when the great card show incident of 2020 occurred. I will note that. You know what I'm talking about.
I do. It might have been 2021, but I can see why you would lose track of time as far as that infamous event.
That's true. It was 2021. I always get that wrong. Yeah.
I was impressed, and I was very thankful that you visited this Dybbuk box with me.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. For those who don't know, it's a wine cabinet claimed to be haunted by a Dybbuk,
How do you
a
spell
concept of Jewish mythology. This box gained notoriety when it was auctioned off of eBay by someone who created a story about a Holocaust survivor, said the whole thing was haunted, possessed by demons, and it even inspired the horror film The Possession.
Yeah.
That's immediately what came to mind when PDX Ezra sent us the photo of the pennies. So here's what I propose. I am going to purchase a box.
Okay.
And I think we're going to get a haunted box off of eBay or Etsy.
Okay.
And I want to put it in the studio.
I
I want to give everyone, ourselves included, an opportunity to put any items that we possess that have haunted us, cursed us, or that we think are haunted, and keep them in this box.
Whoa.
I love it. Especially the part about keeping it at Chad's or at Tim's house. I mean, the studio.
We can line it with salt and garlic. It'll be fine, Tim.
Can I have that sage stick again?
You might need it. And Ricky, you and I came up with a name for this that we think is pretty appropriate. You want to tell people about that?
We're going to call this the Kingman box, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Now, Dave Kingman, you might ask, who is that? As did I. Well, let me tell you who Dave Kingman is. He played first base for the San Francisco Giants and had a card released in the 1974 Topps baseball set. This was, according to this article, that is hanky at best. But according to this article, it was the first set that Topps released all their cards through that year. So it was just a single set is what it sounds like. And if you take a look at this card, I think it's number
610. 610 out of 660.
Yeah. It should be numbered 666, as the article points out, because I don't know how to explain what I'm seeing behind this man who's trying to swing at a baseball. First of all, he's swinging in the pitch black. And he doesn't look completely real or alive. But then when you see the fans behind him, they're like a bunch of ghost masks out of Scream.
Absolutely. Especially
but
the one
unintended.
on the right.
Yeah, but unintended.
They look like demons coming from the gates of hell.
Yes, it does. And Can I propose a backup? Should we not be able to find a haunted box on Etsy?
That's sure.
It might be a short supply of haunted boxes. If they don't have one, I vote that we get a cool box and decorate it like the Ghostbusters trap, given that we are going to collect all things haunted.
I like that much better. I would much rather have that sitting on my desk.
And Chad, here's where we still win. Think of all the haunted that people are going to send in to Tim to put in that box.
Damn it.
It's perfect. Send us everything you've got. We'll set up the Ghost Hunter gear and we can watch it.
Oh, man.
There's an Adam. Oh, it's a 101.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Back to the Future. I'm your host, Ricky, a.k.a. Mr. eBay. And I'm joined by my co-host and partner in crime, Dr. Chad.
Someone call for a doctor?
How you doing, Doc?
I'm good, buddy.
And we're joined, as always. He holds the haunted box, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome Dr. Tim.
And you never walk away from the table when you're on a heater.
Well, this week we have all sorts of craziness for you. Logan Paul got scammed for $3.5 million in G.I. Joe cards. We're going to talk about redemption horror stories. But before we dive into all of that, Timmy, you've been tracking some of the latest big sales from Goldin auctions.
Yeah,
and we thought we'd review some of those to talk about the state of the marketplace, which evidently in basketball is horrific.
Depends on who you're asking, right?
Right.
It might be a good thing. I don't know. I don't know if anybody out there has scrolled through the Goldin auctions lists periodically, but the lots are rather cumbersome and there's not a great way to do it. And so it's a little overwhelming, but there's a lot of just interesting sales data, I think, that doesn't get talked about enough.
Yeah.
I mean, you'll hear about those big sales, like a LeBron RPA, those will pop into the news and the Trouts, but there's some nuggets buried in these lists. Did you guys have anything specifically you wanted to touch on, just so I know later? Not specifically?
No.
Okay.
No, I think the list you came up with was great, and I'm prepared to talk about every one of them.
Perfect. Yep. Yeah, and obviously we're not going to cover all 130 cards or whatever it was in this lot. It just was too much. But there were a couple things that popped out to me. It is basketball season, right, Chad?
Calendar does agree with you, yes. With the exception of my patient who came in today and told me it was August 11th of 1922.
That's not
in which
good.
case it would be baseball. But otherwise, it is basketball.
Nailed the year, right? Yeah.
Yep. Nailed it.
Jeez. It's not a good sign. Okay, so Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man. Sorry, let me get out of this one.
For those listening at home, Tim is running the board as we're virtual again this week due to the COVID spike. And Tim's doing what Tim does and talking anything but the show during the show hour.
I had Facebook up in the background. I've got these two buddies I have a group chat with who just talk sports bets nonstop. So,
Ricky, I'm going to propose that you don't even edit that out.
No,
I'm
you don't
going to
need
give you
to.
a free pass. Don't edit it. That's perfect.
Yeah. I'll be that guy that had the messenger sound in the background.
Hey, what's the hot betting tip for our listeners
Yeah.
as well?
Yeah, let's get into this. What is it?
Nothing. I quit. So that's why I had to close the chat.
Is that an update on that fatal four-way you did last night?
No, that wasn't sports betting. It's fine. It was a Raz for crypto, if you have to know. So I'm taking it to the next level.
Get in it right now. Get in it.
Oh,
We'll
I can.
come back to it in segment 2.
Oh, these fly like every 5 minutes, so I definitely could. But all right, we are way off tangent.
Back to
Let's
Anthony
focus.
Edwards.
Anthony Edwards. Ant-Man. Debatable if he's really going to be worth these values, but what really caught my eye was a Prism Gold rookie card of Anthony Edwards. How much do you ask that went for? Not 5 figures, ladies and gents. 6 figures. $180,000, baby.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hey, let me just point out the obvious. no auto, no hit, no game worn jock strap.
Mm-mm.
Nothing.
Nothing.
What number is he?
No idea.
He's number 1. I know because I looked it up.
Oh, okay. Like jersey
not
number
even-
you're talking. Yeah.
It's not even a jersey 101. It's numbered 10 out of 10.
That's a good look.
Yeah, it's an eBay 101.
I also looked up the fact that you could buy multiple hot air balloons instead of buying this card if you wanted. You could also buy a Porsche instead of this card if you wanted. But no, some poor idiot has the Minnesota Timberwolves star player.
Well, debatable right now because Karl Anthony Towns is actually playing out of his mind. I mean, he's finally living up to his hype and his values from his rookie year.
I don't understand the price. I looked up some other Prism Gold rookie cards of notable players who are more established.
Okay. How'd that go?
One in football, Christian McCaffrey, only $2,100, and that was an autograph.
Well, that's the wrong sport, but I get what you're saying. It's a big
I've got
star.
3 others.
Yeah.
2012 Prism Gold, first year of Prism. Klay Thompson, BGS 9.5, $42,000.
Wow.
2018 Luka Prism Gold Signatures, $87,000.
Luka.
Signature. That's an auto,
that's an
right?
auto.
Signature
Yeah.
of his
Sticker,
rookie
but-
year.
Yeah.
And this one blew me away as well. The 2020 NT Gold first off the line Anthony Edwards, RPA, $57,000 just
NT?
last month.
NT, you said, huh?
That was NT. And it just doesn't make sense to me. And according to Card Ladder, Anthony Edwards is down 8% on his cards over the past month. So 180 seems way out of proportion.
Well, to be fair, he only bid 150, and then they tacked him with a $30,000 buyer's premium.
Yeah.
Buyer's premium.
Your privilege
God.
of buying it through gold.
Well,
I mean, built into that price are MVPs, NBA Finals appearances. Hell, even a winning season in Minnesota is tacked onto that price.
you could probably spend a night at Anthony Edwards' home if you just offered him $180,000. Steal some stuff. A towel or something. You'll be closer to him than this card will ever get you.
And do you think he bought his own rookie card?
The plot thickens.
We need to
shilled
check
it.
that. Yeah. But no, that just blew my mind. I mean, the modern hobby is getting out of control price-wise, and I just don't see that. I mean, you use the keyword established, Chad. Like established stars should command that kind of price.
I don't know. We're about to talk about another established star next, and it commanded nowhere near that price.
No, it didn't.
Truly, though.
Tim,
Well, Jordan, he's okay, right?
what about this 1980 Topps box? Don't skip
Okay,
that one.
we won't skip that. That's fine. Okay. 1980 Topps basketball, the boxes. Yeah, we've talked about this card a couple times, the Bird rookie with Irving. The boxes themselves, quite valuable. Sealed, $28.8 thousand. And $33,600. Two slightly different prices, but yeah.
And then you also have a note for a PSA 8. Is that the Bird card?
Uh-huh.
Is a PSA 8?
Yeah, for the card you're chasing, I put that in there because I found it a little interesting that the box price was that high when the card you're chasing in the likely grade that you're going to get out of it is only $5,750.
It kind of reflects modern times, right? I mean, with modern boxes, we were talking about that pre-show with how highly priced boxes are.
Mm-hmm.
But Tim, you proposed on our sheet, would you rather have the box or the card?
Yeah, it's a valid
And-
question, right?
I'm going to tell you, I want the box for that price. Now, just a few weeks ago, a similar box sold for $31,000. So you're getting a little bit of a deal here at Goldin for $28,000.
Mm-hmm.
But the price of that Dr. J, Magic, and Bird in a PSA 9 is $24,000. So that's a pretty big jump. And if you're lucky enough and you hit a PSA 10, $800,000.
Okay. Right.
That would be fun.
That would be fun, but you know PSA is not giving out a 10 at this point.
Yeah, I know. But the thought of that would still be very intriguing to me.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I understand that argument. However, this is how Chad views the life, like the glass half full. I'm half empty. Me, I'm thinking this is over 40 years old, stored in God knows what for God knows how long.
Yep.
No, I'll take the card. I'll take the
sure
bird.
thing.
Yeah, in the hand.
Bird in the hand. Exactly. All right. Nobody laughed. It's fine.
Oh, I did.
This will happen to you on Zoom too.
Yep.
I'm trying to cut back this week. I was morally distressed after last week's episode.
No.
So,
but your point, Chad,
learn.
is that we're building in the price of a theoretical PSA 10, the
That's
unicorn out of that box. But Ricky raised a good point. Like, these boxes are usually sitting in Grandpa's attic, Grandpa's basement, the outhouse in the back, or a storage locker that Chad bid on over the weekend.
Those are valuable, damn it.
Can you imagine if you found one of those boxes in a storage locker one of these days? Yeah. That'd be amazing.
Call up Logan Paul and sell it to him.
Man, he's taking a beating this week.
Yes, he is.
Okay, so we'll move on from the boxes to a fairly recognizable card as well, the 86 Fleer Jordan rookie card.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the PSA 9 sale prices recently were of note. They've come down, obviously, since earlier in 2021. But currently, $21,000 and $24,000 were the two sales in this Goldin auctions lot.
Compare that again to Minnesota Timberwolves.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards. I mean, that is laughable.
Well,
it is.
Yes and no, right? Because I get it. The gold's out of 10. The pop count on like these Jordans is, thousands. But yeah, it's the whole, greatest of all time versus second year, third year player now that, rookie. Whatever.
That went well.
That went really well. Yeah.
The Jordan prices, I think, are reasonable. They are down 25% over the last 3 months. They're starting to climb back up, though.
Yeah.
Right.
And Tim, you're going to own one of these again someday.
I will.
Have that in the notes.
You will.
I'm sure of it. I think it's going to take something that you're not prepared to have happen for you to fall in this money. Whether one of your NFTs hit. We got to talk about our our Twitter. We'll talk about that later. Whether your NFTs hit or something will hit huge, and you're going to own these cards again. I have no doubt.
That's the goal. It's the main motivator for me, not screwing up this year. Man on a mission this year.
And I also am positive you will get another one of these cards, but you're going to get it through a Raz. I'm calling it right now.
I don't know about a 10 spotter for $2,100 a spot, but
you'll find a way.
It'll be a 100 spot mega for $210 a spot. How about that? That sounds reasonable. It's been done before, baby. But yeah, we'll see. Well, how about this next card, Ricky? What would you do for this? The 89 score, number 257. Barry Sanders signed rookie card. PSA 10, auto 10.
And this is more reasonable to me. PSA 10s across the board. Mm-hmm. It's a rookie. It's an auto for $4,000. Again, the buyer bid closer to $3,000 and then got to pay an extra $700.
Yeah.
I've actually been looking at some of these. There's a lot of, not the PSA 10s, but there's a lot of 9s out there, or that they'll simply grade the auto. And I've really looked hard at those. Those are pretty affordable cards, actually. God, I would love this card. It's his iconic rookie card. It's a must-have for any serious Barry Sanders collector.
How about the blue ink?
Oh,
I love it. Makes the jersey pop. I think he's got a blue shirt on. I don't have a picture of the card in front of me.
He does.
It looks really good.
He's got what I assume is a Lions blue jersey on. It does have the green border, but you're right. The blue ink really brings it home. And that's typically what I've seen on the auto. So, if you don't have $4,000 in your pocket and you're a big Barry Sanders fan, check out eBay because they do have a number of those variations that you can get your hands on. Mm-hmm. Pretty damn cool. But this to me is a much more reasonable price point for a card.
Yeah. For an iconic card too. I don't think you're going to regret spending $4,000 on that.
No. And again, auto, It's something that connects you to the player other than their photograph.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize that there were cards on Goldin's auction that were on the lower end of the upper tier of cards. You know, Goldin, we haven't ever really talked about his auctions on our show, but I was pleasantly surprised to see something like that.
Yeah, it's surprising, right? Cost-wise, because you have the buyer's premium, you have their fees, so you would think that on average, the thing sent to them would be 5 figures, right? Like in my mind, that'd be the threshold.
Right.
But I don't know. People hate eBay.
It's something worth checking out. I mean, and they clearly have an issue with their marketing because none of us knew that we could even be allowed onto the website without spending full fortunes for a card. But like Chad pointed out, there's some decently reasonable cards on there.
Yeah, definitely worth taking a look. That was fun browsing through those. And so still found a couple other things that I think are worth talking about. I was scrolling through Instagram this week, and there was a post by a consignor that we've used a lot in the past, DC Sports 87. I still send a lot of my cars there. And the post was about hockey being undervalued. And these two boxes, or a case and a box, I brought up for illustration. Chad, you love baseball. 1978 Topps, a BBCE wrapped case, $48,000. And which rookies are in this case, you might ask? Massive stars, Paul Molitor, Dave Murray, and Ricky's smiling because Alan Trammell's in there.
Yeah.
Yawn.
But would you rather have that case or a single box of 79 Topps hockey where you can chase Mr. Gretzky himself for $46,800?
Give me the hockey, baby.
Hockey?
Give me the hockey.
Yeah.
You know, when I first looked at this was so clear to me. So when you just look at the rookie cards, you just threw me a wrench in my analysis here because I just realized that it's one box of hockey versus
No, I know. In an ideal world, that would have been a case to case, but
however, it is still a no question answer that hockey is the right call in this situation.
yeah.
Yeah. 2 weeks in a row. It's 2 weeks in a row. He's coming over.
Yeah. No, you just Molitor, Murray, and Trammell.
Yeah.
What?
No, I don't know. Those are the three chase guys. I'm sorry, guys.
I'm pretty sure that's the box that our friend Stu's sister ran over in the parking lot of their card show back east there.
Oh, man.
I wouldn't pay $4.86 for this case, let alone $48,000.
Yeah. Nope. That's a footrest at the end of your coffee table.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, that's in the prime of junk, or just heading into junk wax era too.
I know.
Oh.
Not exciting at all. So bad. So bad is also this next sale where second to last one we'll talk about. Literally, I just wrote WTF in the show notes. For $10,000, what do you think you could have gotten here?
I'm not even happy with the photo. Can I start there?
Yeah, it's fine. What is the photo, Ricky?
It's a Honus Wagner T206 Pepe NFT from the Rare Pepe collection. Okay, first.
Yeah, go ahead.
First of all, the top of the card has been cut off in the photo, or else it has a huge centering problem. For an NFT to have a centering problem is absurd.
That's like I edit it.
Yeah, it is. And then there's no originality here. You just threw yourselves on the back of the most iconic baseball card of all time and said, "Oh, I'm done. Here's Rare. Get the hell out of here."
This is a huge meme. Pepe the Frog.
Idiot.
He's withstood the test of time. That was minted in 2016, Ricky. It's the year 2022 of our Lord. And he is still all over the internet.
Minted. Don't use that word with this. I looked at this and immediately one clip stood out of my mind. Tim, I sent it to you. Do you have it?
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's where you wanted me to play it.
That's where I want you to play it.
Get the fuck out! And the next person I see juggling, tap dancing, or baton twirling, or doing any other circus-like tricks will join him.
That's what I thought of you when I saw this on the notes, Tim.
Yeah. Tim, do you own a Pepe?
I don't, but I've collected some rare Pepes in a game that you can play on the Discords for the NFTs.
He's making it worse.
I won't do it anymore, Chad. I refuse to do it and ask him what the hell he's talking about.
Don't engage it.
No, this is actually fascinating because only 101 copies of this existed back in 2016. And this is back when, I don't know, like Bitcoin was like $3 or something silly. And so there's a lot of like crypto wallets that these are stored on that are just gone. Like people didn't care enough to keep them. So like literally in landfills, there's the other 50 copies of this that are just gone. And this is somehow valuable now because
Is it in a landfill if it never really existed?
oh geez. Now we're getting deep here.
Still not fascinating.
Yeah, Hugo, criticize that, baby. That was deep. Well,
okay,
and
this
go ahead.
next finish your thought on Pepe, because this next one.
No, I have nothing else to say. We'll just move on.
I might spend this kind of money for something like this.
It's pretty cool. Soccer. Yeah, so we've covered hockey, and now we've got a little soccer bit here. Diego Maradona. His passport, $13,000 and $13,200.
That's pretty cool.
It was
It
so
does
random.
look like an authentic Argentinian passport.
Argentinian. Yep.
I did it. English. Yeah.
And what's cool about it is, given that he plays the world sport of football, it's chock full of stamps of places he's been. So it's.
Oh, I didn't think of that part.
Yeah, you can actually select some photos below and see some of the stamps that he's accumulated. And that's probably something unique to soccer compared to the other big four, I'll say, sports.
He's probably traveled a bit.
How much would you guys pay for a Jordan or Donovan Mitchell passport?
Ooh. I bet I'd go close to 5 figures. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's very unique, right?
Is it creepy?
It's a one-on-one.
It is creepy.
Yeah, it is.
It is cool. If you want a connection, right? We always talk about autos or the patch give you a connection to the player wearing it in a game or signing it, holding the card.
Yeah.
You can't get more of a connection than a passport.
Yeah.
There's probably fingerprints on it.
It's cooler than a Pepe.
Yeah.
100 times cooler.
That's probably true.
Well, Tim, these were good finds from Goldin Auction. That was good.
Fun. Yeah. Stuff you don't hear about, talked about all that often. But yeah.
What's
Hopefully
their
that's
website? Goldin, GOLDIN.co.
Yeah. .co. Yep.
So check them out. Might be worth something to at least browse, if not seriously look at to buy. All right, guys. Well, when we come back, we're going to jump into redemption horror stories. Man, these big companies have been naughty. We'll be back with that and more right after this.
All right, guys. Once again, we want to remind you about Zion cases for all of your card storage needs. Great way to store, protect, and carry your slab cards. Go check them out at their website if you haven't done so already, thecollectioncase.com, and take a look at all the different sizes of Zion cases. Tim, do you have one that's ready for National?
No, not yet. I was looking at the backpack, though.
Well, you decide to go pick up that backpack. Tell you what, we can give you a little discount over there. Go over to the website, click on your product, check out, use the promo code PACK, get 10% off your order. They have the 2-row case. They have the XL and the Mega XL, the Goliath. Or you just get the one, the nice little protection for the little beauty that hits home close to your heart. Go check them out, collectioncase.com, promo code PACK, 10% off your order, and your guys over here get a little cut of that too.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the show. You can find us on our website, pttfpodcast.com. That's pttfpodcast.com. You're going to find all our YouTube clips. You're going to find all of our shows in one easy location to play everything. You'll be able to visit our advertisers and sponsors of the show. So go over and check us out, pttfpodcast.com, for more. All right, Timmy. You brought us another fascinating story here. You found some horror stories with regard to redemption cards. And I think it was Topps that initially kicked off this investigation, correct?
Correct. Well, credit where credit is due. This link was sent to me by Dan on Instagram, who has helped out the show and been a good fan of the show since the very start. And even recorded a couple of our commercials and other stuff way back in year 1. Wow. But he sent me this link, and it was a fascinating read because the thing up for debate here is whether Topps did this guy dirty or not on a redemption replacement. Specifically, it was a redemption for 2018 Bowman Chrome, guy by the name of Otani. Just an orange out of 25 auto rookie. No big deal, right? No big deal. Expired.
It's a risk.
It's a risk you take opening old product, right?
Mm-hmm. Or just baseball in general.
Well, the reason why this is a big deal. So the base auto from 2018 Bowman Chrome, about $3,000 if it's a PSA 10. That's all. So you can extrapolate that out, and the estimates for an orange, there were no recent comps that I could find. At least 40,000, maybe as high as 6 figures.
Ooh,
just depending on what part of the season you maybe would think about selling him.
That's a massive hit.
Massive, right? Massive hit.
Life-changing.
Yeah, from the side of you as a customer pulling it, right? I mean, Chad, if you pulled that out of baseball, you might actually like it for a day.
That's true. Tim, I can't pull a $10 card out of the box. So I appreciate the thought, though.
Yeah, you would have left that redemption in the lid of the box and then wouldn't even have known you hit it. But you scroll through this feed and you would think that Topps would come up with something good to replace this, right? Because that is something that they'll do. Like if you get a redemption for a card, they'll do their best to send you a little care package, or what they call a good enough replacement for a replacement. What did this guy get, Ricky? You want to read those off for us?
Yeah, I had to click the photo and zoom in so I don't get these names wrong. Mike Gerber of the Tigers, who I have no idea who that is as a Tigers fan.
No idea.
I have one of his autos.
Really?
Uh-huh. I'm sure. I think I have like 3 of them.
I rest my case.
That's probably not
is he
a good
junk
thing.
player?
Yeah, I would imagine
As
so.
far as I
He's
know.
got to be.
Yeah.
And this is a first Bowman's Chrome. So you know he's still in the double A's.
Yeah.
Working his way
He's
up.
a prospect for sure.
Then you get Taylor Ward of the LA Angels. Again, Bowman Chrome. Who? A pack of 2020 opening day baseball. 7 cards. Warning. Packs with a special insert may only contain 2 to 5 cards.
So bad.
And you can enter the 2020 Home Run Derby contest with the Take the Field contest in your pack of 2019 Topps Big League. What?
Mike Gerber, 2019 with the Giants, hit 0.42. Wow.
That's like a quarter of the Mendoza line. That's impressive.
Wow.
Well, and you have so what this guy did, he submitted this redemption card. I'm trying to look. It expired in 2020.
Yeah, they
So
last
he's
about 2 years. Yep.
18 months late. And they write back, thanks. Hey, we were able to locate the expired redemption card you mailed in, but we couldn't fulfill the package. So you're thinking, all right, they've gotten rid of that card out of 25. God knows where it went.
Exactly right. There's a question. Yeah.
Right. But they're going to come up with something better. And this is the hole that they come up with.
Oh, it's so awful. Even that made me cringe.
Yeah.
How do you not put an Ohtani auto in there of some
At
type?
least, right? Like, at least give him something of Ohtani's. Like, they have to have some of those kicking around, even if it's like an unlicensed Panini Prism one, right?
Yes. Yeah, something.
Something. Yeah, go buy it off eBay and then give it to the guy for the love.
Yeah, go buy a hat off of him or something and give that to the guy. Something.
Something.
It's so bad. We didn't vet this story. I mean, it could be a good Reddit thread, right?
It seems legit. I mean, the original poster's in there, and he's like, yeah, just super unhappy about it. Where he really got into it with somebody was one guy had to make the comment, the redemption's expired, or the redemption was expired, bro.
Right.
There's Chad.
There's Chad. Chad's burner account.
No, that's a total attorney thing to say. That would not be me.
See,
but it makes you wonder if this guy pissed off Topps. You know, is he calling him, bugging him every day? Like, that is a jaded care package.
It is.
Yeah. How do you not, like, even if you're not going to include an Ohtani, and you at least have to give him a complete box of cards or something.
Something.
I am skeptical because I just looked up a 2-pack of 19 Topps Big League. It's $7.99 or best offer.
Or best offer for a 2-pack.
Oh, gosh.
That is horrific, Topps. And goodbye. Thank God you're out of here. Fanatics, do better.
Oh, my goodness. That's amazing.
God, what if that is Fanatics taking over?
Oh, no. Please, no.
Asserting themselves in the hobby. You listen up here, you little whiny bitches. You're going to take these packs of opening day and you're going to like it.
Yeah, exactly. Take what you get and like it.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about
man.
that.
Well, hopefully we just never see redemptions again. Right?
That's unfortunately not going to be the case. Panini is just as guilty about this. And I've got a story about that. You guys have probably had Panini redemptions at some point, or just redemptions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And usually when you mail it in, you get your card, maybe not right away, but months, a year, you know, like we all know there's a little bit of wait time built into these.
Yeah.
2 years went by when I bought a Donovan Mitchell horizontal cracked ice from 2017-18 Panini Contenders. I was pretty excited. And, yeah, time went by and from Panini. Not exactly the card you don't want to get back.
No.
Because cracked ice
Yeah,
are
you wanted
really,
to sell
really
that puppy, right?
busted. Yeah. But at the time, it was valued at about $2,000 for a replacement when I requested the replacement. How did we get that value, Chad? Mr. Beckett's Guide.
What is B for?
Exactly. Man.
B is for Beckett.
That was so crazy to me. You know, like, look up a comp on eBay, right? Don't do me dirty like that. Not saying that the values aren't accurate on occasion, but for modern day product, generally, I would not reach for a Beckett guide. But that's what we had to work with after I emailed the rep at Panini, who the contact info was graciously given to me by a hobby friend. Otherwise, they're just notoriously hard to get a hold of. Like when you call their customer service number, usually it's a busy signal. When it's not a busy signal, one time I called and it just rang and rang and rang and it went to voicemail, and then the voicemail just hangs up on you. Like, didn't even give me a chance to leave
Yes,
a
it
message. And so that wasn't great, but I emailed this guy, Robert Emmerich. He no longer works there because, bless his soul, he probably got completely fried dealing with this. But he actually emailed back over the course of 4, 8, and then 12 weeks. We finally reached an agreement where he said he would mail me 2 Panini white boxes as replacement. It also was nice enough. Yeah, go ahead.
What does that mean you reached an agreement? Can you expand upon that?
Yeah.
That sounds juicy.
Yeah. So usually they would just mail you out a replacement. That's how it's supposed to go. When they don't have that replacement to mail out, or in this case, when Mr. Mitchell does not sign his autos at all, even though he continues to sign for live products the rest of the year, they have no card to offer you. And so they ask, hey, so what would be an acceptable replacement for you? And so that's where the $2,000 value came from, because they were like, well, we got to hit this mark somehow. And they have these magical Panini white boxes.
Which, after seeing that Topps debacle, is brilliant on Panini's part. We'll get into that in a sec.
It actually looks pretty cool. They're modeled after, ironically, Topps Dynasty box shapes, where you open up these boxes and there's one card inside. And that one card is repurposed, unfulfilled, or like a not mailed out redemption of some kind from other products, and a little white box 1-of-1 stamp on the back. And so some people consider it a 1-of-1. Some people don't, but it's at least a card that's real with an actual auto on it. And I was like, okay, I'd heard about these and I was like, yeah, let's see what happens. Go ahead and mail me out a couple. I was a little disappointed by the fact that they were only valued at $500. Like, they just flat out admitted, well, I'm not going to send you something $1,000 each. So he mailed back and was like, well, what else can you do? And he seemed cordial enough, and he was like, well, what teams do you collect? And so I shot him back an email that said, well, I'm a Chicago guy, so Bears, Bulls, see what you can do, knowing that baseball was unlicensed. You guys see those pictures?
Yeah.
Mitchell Trubisky.
How's that Trubisky holding up?
So bad. It wasn't even from like a good product. It was from XR.
That's not what you got.
That's part of it, though. That was how he made up the difference between $1,000 and $2,000. Was these four cards was the bridge, the gap filler.
Yeah, XR is beautiful.
No, sticker auto of Mr. Trubisky, an on-card auto of Gale Sayers, which was actually pretty cool, but it's not worth much. I mean, his autos are readily available for like $20 to $50.
He's got a good auto.
Yeah,
it is a cool
that's
card.
just a good one, like an old.
And no, you
vibe.
should be. That Trubisky is a 1-of-1. He kept it on the card. He hit the target for once. Huh?
You can literally see like the edges peeling off the XR. Like, not really, but it just
basically.
can't you just see it flaking?
Yeah. And then the two Bulls cards were pretty. I mean, they were from Impeccable. Wendell Carter Jr., who's no longer a Bull, and then B.J. Armstrong. Nice little filler auto, $10 usually, $20. You can buy those off eBay.
Yeah,
that's tough.
That's bad. But back to these white boxes. So have you guys ever seen one of these or seen them opened or anything?
Yeah, I've heard of you opening them and pulled a couple off of YouTube. I feel like we maybe did it as recon for a white box you were going to open or something.
Yeah, because I had no idea up to that point, like what I was really going to get out of one of these. I opened my first one, and I got Joel Embiid NT RPA out of 99. That was pretty cool.
Right? Yeah, solid for the time.
Yeah, he was injured at the time, so I was like, But that was actually a pretty good card. I could see why they thought that was a suitable replacement. Maybe in today's market, I would have been a lot more happy about it, right? Because that wasn't worth that much 2 years ago.
You were fairly excited about it at the time, though.
Yeah, that was a good one. I was like, okay, that's acceptable.
Yeah.
The next box, there was a John Stockton Flawless Auto, 1-of-1. Like, that was a meh.
It probably doesn't move your needle at all.
Nope, it didn't.
No.
Yeah. That sold, I think, for about $200 when I resold it. The Embiid, I think I got $600 if I remember right. So wasn't terrible. And I forgot that I actually had a third box that was mailed out to me along with that that replacement care package, and I sold that one. I don't remember what the guy hit though. So,
well, like I said earlier, Panini's brilliant for doing this. I don't know how Topps didn't see this coming, and there has to be. I did see the debate on the Reddit page for the Topps crappy redemption. And they were having the debate of, well, what the hell do you expect Topps and Panini to do with these cards that aren't claimed after 5-10 years?
Yeah.
And Panini found the right answer. You put them in a fund, like a reserve that you can then go to when hits the fan, as it always seems to do.
Yeah.
if you can get a hold of them.
Right.
So that is the tough part. I went into my Panini account to see if I had any outstanding redemptions. And I did. I had 3. I had two from 2014 and one from 2015 that I have emailed about several times. And they're lower end stuff. It's like a Kemba Walker rookie glass auto. But it's hard. I mean, it's hard to get a hold of them. Those are lower end things.
Yeah.
But if you do get a hold of them, I do like the concept. I like the surprise of opening them. But I will say that as a buyer of them, I have looked past them and I've had no desire to go buy them. I don't know why that is, but for me, it just doesn't catch me as a true 101.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. So you're saying like on the marketplace, like you would never actively seek out one of these white box 1-of-1s.
That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you know how you can get a hold of Panini reps? They're kind of captive at the National when they show up at their booth. And people do this. They hoard up all their redemptions. They probably go out and buy unused redemptions. And they're like, well, we know that these ones are not going to get fulfilled. They're not live. So we'll get these and kind of bilk their value, right? And bundle them all together as, hey, Panini, you owe me this much in redemptions. And the line gets long. I remember that at the Chicago National. And people wait, though, because that's really the only way you're going to get a hold of somebody, guaranteed.
Yeah. Where's my Daquan Jones, man?
Is that what you have waiting?
I just pulled up my Panini. I have 4.
What do you have?
We've got a Laquan Treadwell Vikings rookie card from 2016.
I swear he signed everything already, but except for one.
We have, let's see, 2016 playoff Cody Kessler of the Browns.
That's rough.
Yeah.
I think he bounced from the league so quick they didn't get his auto. 2017. Oh, this is a big one.
What is it?
Shaquille O'Neal glass card.
Okay. What? Why? Why wouldn't they send that to you though?
I don't know. I have a Shaq glass one. I almost wonder if these are showing up in my active and I already have them. And my 4th one's a John Lure of your Memphis Grizzlies 2012 Panini Crusade.
Crusade. I love that year Crusade. That was good.
Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, you're not getting much for those.
No.
Maybe I can call Tim's guy and get a white box.
Tim, he will when he comes to the National with us and waits in line. Am I right, Ricky?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man. Chad, do you have any bad experiences with redemptions other than the ones you have outstanding currently?
No, I haven't really had a lot. The one redemption I did have, and I regret selling this card so much, was out of Crusade. I hit a Kobe Bryant Majestic autograph. And I hit it with my buddy from residency. I've talked about him before. Him and I were the ones who ended up finding overtime cards initially, Ricky. And then you kind of came along right after that.
Right.
And we were jumping around the house screaming. We're both piss tired. We're like post call and we're jumping up and down and running around. And when I hit that Kobe. So that was a fun memory of it, but no horror stories. Not like Tim. That Donovan Mitchell was awful.
And the only real horror story the only hiccup, I guess I'd say I've had is my Dak Prescott rookie auto. And it was on its way to me when he got busted using an autograph machine. They said,
an idiot.
Yeah. Hang on. But I did get the actual card with the extra little sticker to tell me someone actually watched him sign it this time. And so that actually turned out to be a good experience for me. Tim, I think you are just redeeming so many redemptions with all the razzle dazzles you're doing that I think you have maybe an unfair sample size.
Ricky, do you have an autograph pen at work or an autograph machine?
Yeah. I'll see if we can get one.
Yeah, you should.
Oh man. Yeah, Timmy, that Donovan though is atrocious and there's no excuse for it when it's the actual year of his rookie season. That's when you hit it, right?
Yeah, that's when I hit it.
It's not like it was an expired redemption.
Nope, it wasn't. And it just got more and more frustrating just as more and more product came out. And like I knew he was signing, right? Like how hard would it have been to mail out 20 more cards to him and say, hey, let's just finish signing these.
You should have called them and said, "Hey, send me the cards. I'll drive them over to his house."
Oh yeah, no, that would have worked too. Oh well. Yep.
All right. Well, when we come back, we're going to talk Pokemon, Logan Paul, and scams. All of Chad's 3 favorite things in this world. We'll be back with that and more right after this. Hey guys, Mr. eBay here with a little advice for all of you. MySlabs.com. MySlabs is a peer-to-peer marketplace created by collectors for collectors who are wishing to avoid high auction and consignment fees. For those of you that are selling cards, are you tired of the popular auction sites taking 12% of your sales? How does a 1% seller's fee sound? That's what you get with MySlabs, along with strong seller protections not found on any major auction platforms. Buyers, these reduction in sale fees result in major savings to the consumer on MySlabs, where you can find slabs of the biggest superstars and your favorite athletes across all major sports platforms. Don't like slabs? Hey, no problem. MySlabs also offers tons of NFTs, graded comic books, and unripped wax for sale. So head over to MySlabs.com, shop for deals galore, and take your collecting to the next level. MySlabs.com. All right, everyone, welcome back to the show. You can follow us on our Instagram page at Pack to the Future Podcast. We love interacting with our listeners, post all sorts of great content throughout the week. Timmy, you got to bring us home with this last story. This story, since you initially put it up for our outline, has just grown legs and it's gotten insane.
It's just gone insane today. It completely blew up today on social media. It just coincidentally. So by the time you hear it on Saturday, it'll be slightly old. But today, as a recording, it's fantastic. Like today's just been a fantastic news day about this. But yeah, so Logan Paul kind of, got a lot of attention for dropping $3.5 million on this sealed case of first edition shadowless Pokemon cards, 6-box case.
It must be like, Chad, do you feel severe judgment for anyone spending anything approaching that figure for Pokemon cards?
I can't comprehend it. I mean, that's an entirely different level of spending. I tried to put myself in those shoes and with the amount of money, and maybe it would be like me buying a box of hoops. Maybe that's what I'm trying to equate it to, but I just can't put myself in those shoes and fathom that.
This must be how my parents feel, my dad in particular, when he tells me how disappointed he is in my collecting of cards. I just can't fathom why you would spend anything near this amount of money for Pokemon cards.
Well, not to make this segment about Pokemon cards, because it really wasn't meant to be. There's a lot to be gleaned from how this whole story broke and how everything kind of broke down on its way to being a scam. But Pokemon's stupid valuable. I mean, like one sealed box of first edition Pokemon, you're getting like $430,000 on average out of it. $430,000. That's a house. A nice house.
That's a nice house.
Yeah.
That's a couple Porsches.
Yeah.
And you're right. I mean, the demand is there for Pokemon. I just don't understand it.
That's fair.
Our local card shop has put up a case of all Pokemon cards. We can never get near it because all the kids gravitate towards it, it feels like.
Yeah. Popular for a reason. Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You guys can't understand it because you've never sat out a show having to rip Pokemon cards. You've never gone to a card show to buy a Jesus Shuttlesworth only to grade it with an on-site grader.
Yeah.
Oh, the rush, baby.
Yeah, that's some excitement for you for sure. You never stop talking about it.
Hey, I think Chad's becoming a Poke man.
Oh, no. I'm bleeping that. But let's break down how this whole thing went down. Back in March 29th of last year. Good grief. I'm oriented, I promise. March 29th last year, this case showed up on Canada's eBay site. Not US, but Canada's. And this was listed for 10 days. The seller went by the name of Number One Pokemon Master, Sounds legit, right? And unfortunately, didn't have a whole lot of feedback. So maybe that was red flag number 1. Red flag number 2 was the fact that it ended at about $72,000 and good grief, I can say money this week. $72,500.
Well, didn't he change his username like right before the auction started?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. To Pokemon Master. Also a red flag, right? I mean, he was trying to hide something.
You're right.
So just right off the bat, right? Like I had mentioned that one of these boxes should have really been about $430,000 and instead ended at $72,500.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the community already kind of knew, right? Like something's amiss. And I think that just goes to show that like if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is, right? Like that kind of gave off that fishy smell already.
You know, it's funny you say that, Timmy, because I've noticed that most notably, I was running a search for Dunkin' Go Nuts cards just to see like what players were even in the
set. Yeah.
And there were a ton of Jordan Dunkin' Go Nuts, super clear for pretty cheap, $100, a couple $100.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And then you later realize it's some asshat that is scamming everyone and just printing a clear piece of plastic with their own version of Jordan on the front.
And they sell, unfortunately. Yeah. But
so it's understandable that stuff like this happens, but you're right, Tim. That's exactly what drew my attention is the price was way too low for such a clear looking, high in demand card.
Yeah.
And that really does need to set off an alarm for you when you're shopping on eBay or any of these auction sites.
I think so. And Chad, you've mentioned that you really hate when a listing says read asterisks. But if you had pulled up this item's description,
I took a lot of grief for that too.
I agree with you completely. Although I mother F the guy all the way while I'm reading it.
Yeah. So I want to clarify that. I will bypass those. I will bypass them because I do not want to buy the card because usually there is an abnormality. I know that's not what I said, but just for clarification.
That's actually probably a really good rule of thumb because if you had used that rule, because in the listing, in parentheses, it says read description. And if you pull up the listing, it's like this massive run-on sentence with grammar errors, which I know you wouldn't have picked up on necessarily, but...
I always think they read fine.
But yeah, there was all sorts of things wrong with this listing. So that's just a cautionary tale there. And what got fishier from here is that the seller and then the buyer, who went by the name of PSA Pikachu at the time, he completely bailed. Not because he wasn't ready to pay. I'm guessing he was really excited about the possible deal, but he knew that he should probably fly out there and examine the case himself before finalizing the deal. And he wasn't allowed to. The seller just said, nah. And decided to offer the case instead to a guy by the name of Jacob Kahuna at Card Kahuna on Instagram for an undisclosed price that we found out today was probably $2.2 million.
That's a good Instagram name. Card Kahuna. If Kahuna is your last name. I like that.
Yeah.
I do too.
Good job, Jacob.
I don't like the previous one, PSA Pikachu.
Man, getting critiqued.
Yep.
Pick your Instagram handles wisely.
That's
lesson
straight.
number 2.
Yeah, that's right.
But this article that I sent you guys, I think it was interesting because it warned about the fact that this seller changed his story about how he got this card 3 different times. One of them was that he, what was it?
One was an estate sale.
Yeah, the good old estate sale, an old woman's estate sale.
An old lady patient of his brought in some cards.
It's going to be my demented ass talking about that in 50 years.
Wouldn't that be amazing? Yeah, like patient just gifts you something just glorious like that.
Once I get closer to retirement, I'll be like, screw it. Yeah, I'll take this. And now I'm like, no, I'll get in trouble.
I know we're off topic for just a sec. I'll bring us right back.
Okay.
But Chad, when that guy offered you those cards and you couldn't take them, why couldn't you offer them to Tim and I?
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I've got these friends, right?
No, screw you guys.
All right. So his second story
Yeah.
as to how he got him was what? Do you remember?
It was a gift for his 12th birthday.
Yep.
That's a heck of a gift.
And quite a different story.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like two similar stories that he may have confused.
Oh, man. No, it's just bad.
But then the third is the ever so popular I bought it at an estate sale.
Yeah, exactly.
With Chad.
So he circled back over to the estate sale. Yep.
Or not estate sale, but
Storage, like storage locker
auction.
sale.
it wasn't even that. It was actually, he said it was in the attic when I bought the house.
Oh,
Just like, oh, get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Attics and basements, if they reveal glorious treasure like that, just be on alert. Not that it doesn't happen. I mean, we did some news stories where like Uncle Joe or whatever had his grandma's,
he killed it up there.
He killed it.
Mm-hmm.
But Jacob finally ends up with this case at that presumed price of $2.2 million, and he found a buyer by the name of Jamil Muhammad, who's the owner over at the Mealy Pops shop in Gainesville, Florida. And
It's a Mealy Pop.
Mealy
That
Pops.
makes sense.
Yeah. And so Mealy flew over to Indianapolis to meet up with this guy, Jacob, and to also just immediately take this case over to Baseball Card Exchange to get it certified and sealed. If you look up on YouTube, just if anybody has an extra 20 minutes to watch it, they did this whole like documenting of the process of hopping on a plane and getting to Indianapolis and like stalking the FedEx guy as he went into this shop and making sure it never went off camera. And like they made a whole production out of it. It was quite fascinating. They were very excited and really wanted to prove that this case wasn't tampered with between when they got it and when they went to BBC.
Maybe they should have spent more time examining the box than making a movie.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. And well, so this is where the story gets kind of interesting because, you know, Baseball Card Exchange really should have been one of the experts, so to speak, on certifying the authenticity of this case. And instead, it was the internet who decided to do their research more than BBCE did. And they found a lot of things that really were red flags, starting with the box itself. The label, most of these hobby products do come with a label on the side that are thermal printed, and they should fade over time, which is good. That shows that they age appropriately.
Right.
And that was one of the big red flags, was that this label was not faded at all, like a thermal
It was
label.
brand new.
It looked brand new, like it printed off of one of our printers.
And it almost made it look like the ink was smeared.
Yeah.
Yeah, they dirtied
But
it up a
there's a
little bit.
problem. Thermals do not use ink.
Nope.
Exactly.
So that was a problem. Barcode technology has been around forever, and it works because you scan it and it corresponds to an inventory code or inventory serial number. And in this case, somebody ran that through and it doesn't correspond with how these cases were labeled. There was an E at the end of these, on the end of the barcodes.
A 1E.
A 1E.
1E.
First
Yeah.
edition, 1E. Yep. And this label did not have that or did not scan as such when you scanned it. So
Furthermore,
that.
people said that the base set never carried the 1E.
Yeah.
Correct.
Never on the label.
Right.
And they only started doing it later on in their production lines, in their products. So
That's right.
The very first one never did.
Yeah. Lots of interesting wrinkles there already. The label just sketch, right? Next,
They
I
even went
guess.
so
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you going to talk about the stop tape?
Yeah, the stop tape. I mean, I think that's so that was one of the things that BBCE made a point of, right, in the videos today, was that the tape, it looked fine, right? Like it was sealed. It was embedded. The word was embedded into the cardboard box itself and looked authentic. Unfortunately, right, the font and the spacing don't match on it with the known stop tape that Wizards of the Coast uses.
Missing some punctuation, maybe?
Yeah, it was designed by Chad. The word seal wasn't even capitalized. The font didn't look right. Yep.
No period at the end.
No period.
Exactly.
But that's unfortunate. So the tape really seemed like it was added after the fact, and that was definitely one big red flag as well. And that seems like a pretty important detail, right? Like, I mean, I know none of these cases were probably around to reference very easily, but yeah.
For this price point, you find one. For this price point,
Right.
the article talks about that there are a couple in existence.
Yeah.
You reach out to those people and say, we need to see what you have.
Yeah. Yeah.
So where are we at in the timeline of this story? So BBCE just certified this?
BBCE certified this back in April, right after this transaction went down in Indianapolis.
Okay, so that's where we are now. Now,
Yep.
if you are an expert, yeah, we can go ahead and put them on blast. I don't know anything about BBCE, but
Yeah.
I'll say this about anyone in their field. If you are an expert, you should be able to pick off these abnormalities that were seen just by collectors who happen to make a YouTube video about this,
Mhm.
who do not get paid to do this other than the views from their YouTube channel, right?
Exactly. Yep.
There is some blame on BBCE. There should be, in my opinion. These were things that in retrospect, now we can obviously say were problems. They should have known this. This is a big deal.
Well, and BBC is playing a dangerous game trying to authenticate sealed boxes of anything. That's got to be just dangerous unless you have some specialized tools. In the Logan Paul video, they kind of joked about that they might have thrown it through a X-ray machine or something of the like.
Yeah.
You've got to have an ability to find out what's in there or get in there to some degree. I realize you're not going to be able to see the cards through the box, but God, what a dangerous hobby to authenticate a box you can never open. And when they said stuff like the sticker, the label is embedded in the box because we can see the box lines. I could create a label on a box with box lines in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, you use your finger and you rub over it a couple times, and hey,
I was
look, it's
really
embedded.
disappointed with that explanation.
That was
Ricky,
bad.
I was really disappointed with that. That does not make a box authentic. It doesn't.
No. And that they lined up, the lines lined up. Well, of course they lined up. That just means
It's
the
stuck
label
to the
hasn't been
box.
moved.
Yeah, it's
And so I think BBCE has got a huge problem in that would not that any of us are really authenticating sealed boxes or wax, but are they going to be the first company that come to mind when you want to get one graded or authenticated? Not me. I want no part of BBCE after that awful issue that we're.
I know people are going to be frustrated by this, but if you have a $3.5 million case, you have to do better than saying the sealed tape looks good and the thermal sticker looks authentic. That is not good enough. Any one of us could say that.
Right.
Yeah.
Any one of us.
Any of us.
You
yeah.
have to be better than
Judgmental.
that. You have to be able to do the research that these other people have done. And it's not good enough. I'm sorry. It's just not good enough.
Yeah, I mean, like Antiques Roadshow knows their stuff better, right? Like they do a little bit more research than this for something of that value.
Well, wouldn't you feel more comfortable than BBCE? Wouldn't you rather have, I don't know, Nat Turner or Sports Card Investor be the ones? Because at least they know the hobby.
Yeah.
At least they know everything. I'd rather have Adam authenticate it than these guys. At least he knows basketball.
Something, right? You know, or like the Pokemon Master, you know, like somebody.
And that is an argument that people have had, is that their website claims to do sports and really vintage stuff as well. And maybe at that, they're really good at it.
Right.
But just because you're good at one thing doesn't make it that you can authenticate and know every other product well. And when it comes to this amount of money, it's a really big deal.
Yeah.
Steve Hart even admitted, I think, in 2020 that he knew nothing about Pokemon at that point. So,
Yep. Yeah, there were some messages that were pretty good about that.
yeah. All sorts of stuff wrong. So BBCE had their chance and they whiffed, right? Like basic internet research just based on a couple photos off the eBay listing. I mean, they did better than that already. So they were pretty sure, like the general consensus within the community was that this was most likely a sketch case. And unfortunately, the case moved on and it was sold again. Purchased by a guy named Matt Allen, pretty well known by his Instagram handle of @shine150. He bought it for $2.7 million. after it's been certified now as authentic.
Do you blame him,
No.
knowing what we know now?
I think he's an idiot, but I don't necessarily blame him.
You think he's an idiot because he paid that much for a case of Pokemon? Yeah, I agree. I'm with you.
Well,
I would have blindly trusted BBCE.
Blindly,
Maybe not blindly, but
I would have first time out of the chute.
Right.
To me, it sounds legitimate. I've heard about him before. We just talked about him earlier in the show.
I mean, they really are the only game for sealing wax. I mean, like, why wouldn't you have taken their word for it at that
And I guess my suspicion is if you have that much money to be able to throw in a case of Pokemon, that you would probably say, okay, these guys certified it. Sure, I'll go ahead and pay for it.
Yeah,
Right.
if you're going to do
So
it,
maybe the
that's how you
perspective
do
would
it.
be a little different. But yeah, I don't blame him.
Yeah, and he's got one of the world's nicest collections. I mean, he's not afraid to drop money on nice stuff. Go check out that.
But then that begs the question, why isn't he researching this more for a 2
Well, that's the thing. Maybe he has the money where it's not that big of a deal for him.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is me guessing. So
It's
hell,
all
I don't know.
conjecture again. But, you know, the saying goes, DYOR, do your own research, right? Like, that exists for a reason. Ultimately, the onus is on you as a buyer, right? Like, before you commit, nobody's forcing your hand to fork over $2.7 million. Like, do your damn research. That's pretty basic. Yep.
I completely agree with you. And we'll let this story develop a little more. I've got some thoughts on that.
Yeah,
but I don't want to spoil more of the story.
I'll definitely come back to you on that. So just to fast forward a little bit, because now it gets interesting, right? Logan Paul, we found out finally in December of this last year that he decided to buy it for $3.5 million. And they made all sorts of social media posts about it. He was very proud. You know, they were all pictured smiling around the box, holding the box, and just did all sorts of good things for the Pokemon community as a whole because, you know, besides him buying his Charizard and wearing it during a boxing match, I mean, like, he's brought a lot of notoriety, I guess is the better word, instead of attention to the Pokemon card collecting world. So.
For better or worse, he has brought a lot of attention to Pokemon. We all hate his guts, but
he's an influencer for a reason. Yeah,
you can't
wearing the card around their neck. That's some garbage I would do during a boxing match.
See, I thought Chad would be all in for that part.
Oh man, I would. No, I am. I did it at the National.
But what an idiot! If you run the numbers, this is not a $3.5 million product.
No.
Maybe someday.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy too. Like over the course of a year, right? It went from a purported 2.2 to 3.5 million. I mean, wow, right? Just to change hands, I guess. Yeah. Have that opportunity cost or whatever it is that gets built in. So
yeah. Drew Lock didn't do that.
Nope. But then we come to this last week and a half. Just last week on the 4th or 2 weeks ago now. Paul said pretty dramatically that, you know, now that there's maybe some doubt from the community that he was going to take it to Chicago where he was going to meet up with BBCE executives and have it checked over once again. And it was kind of crickets for a little bit. So we were like, what happened? And then yesterday we got notification that they were going to post to YouTube or go live and show us what was inside the box. So that fast forwards to today. What was in the box?
And we panicked a little bit, right? A little insight into us because we were prepared to speculate if it was real or not.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was going to be part of it. And then we just had to scrap it because he just went out and said it was a scam because on the thumbnail it was just like scam. And he's like all forlorn, staring at the box and packs, I guess, more accurately.
Well, Tim, you just skipped over the entire best part. Like literally the last 30 minutes built to this moment, and we just screwed it.
No, but that's the whole point.
For being overserved.
No, but that's the whole point. Is that like he stole his own thunder. He was like, I'm just gonna cut to the chase. Like it was a scam.
Okay. Yeah. Let me try this. So
okay, go ahead. What
he does is he goes to Chicago, has BBCE recheck it. He gets into a hotel room with Matt Allen, Shine 150. And the owner of BBCE, as well as the owner's son, I assume, or assistant. And they have him talk about why he authenticated this box, to which he gave such excellent points as the ridges are on the sticker and off the sticker.
Yep.
and it looks faded. It just looks like it's the label's faded. He completely ignores the fact that it's a heat label and should have faded completely in 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
But that's beside the point. Logan Paul, as much as you hate him, you got to love his desire to entertain the masses.
Yes.
This dude opens up the box and they look at, and sure as hell, there are Pokemon boxes in there.
Mm-hmm.
They were ecstatic for a moment.
For a moment.
3 seconds, maybe, tops. Yeah.
And honestly, it was amazing. If you ever follow his fights for hope of seeing him get knocked out, this is probably the next best thing until he does get knocked out.
Yeah.
Because you watch him go from ecstatic to, wait a minute, these boxes are wrong.
Yeah, because they were bulging.
Yeah, they said they were puffy, right?
Yeah.
He said they didn't look right. They said they were puffy, which I thought was a really good eye for them to recognize that.
Completely agree. And so then they start pulling out the boxes and they start crushing.
Yeah.
And oh my God, he is losing it. And so as they open up the big reveal of the box, right? They're like, these are not real. We can see them next to, they had some authentic boxes there as well.
Yeah, he owns 5 besides this. Yeah.
And so they compare the two and eventually say, let's just open one up. They open it up. And do you have our background, Timmy?
Oh shoot!
No,
I should have been playing this the whole time. Yeah.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. G.I. Joe cards. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
And they had evidently overpacked these Pokemon boxes with G.I. Joe cards so much they were bulging.
Oh, so bad.
And the line of this YouTube clip, in fact, we should throw it up on our blog, pttfpodcast.com, is the YouTube clip of Logan Paul. At the right as soon as they open it, and the head of BBCE turns to his son and says, "We all got scammed, right?" "No, sir. You are not $3.2 million out of pocket."
Oh man, I was watching that in clinic today and I gasped. I definitely gasped when I saw the G.I. Joe. I could not believe it.
Oh. It was so funny.
I feel bad for Logan Paul, honestly. I feel bad for him.
He was gutted.
If that was any of us opening that, just put yourself in his shoes, how awful that would be.
But why do you feel bad for him? Because he didn't get a product that he was expecting?
Yes. He thought he had these things, and instead it's G.I. Joe.
Well, I don't feel bad for him because he's not out of pocket. I agree he didn't get the product he wanted, so I feel a little bit bad maybe there. But he starts off the YouTube page promoting a product that gets him more money, saying, "Please buy this product. I need all your help." And then we later find out that Matt Allen agreed to refund his money.
Yeah, it was just, that was the other wrinkle. Yeah.
And this is the part I've been dying to get to. Matt Allen wants to turn around and say, "I'm waiting to see who's going to make me whole," AKA Mealy Pops.
Yep.
I got news for you. I was thinking about this with my, I put my legal thinking cap on.
Okay, yeah, no, I want to hear about this. Yep.
There was no intention from Mealy Pops. There's no evidence that he knowingly defrauded Matt Allen. And I think under that guise, I don't think that he's entitled to get his money back, frankly.
From Mealy Pops, you mean?
From Mealy Pops.
From Mealy Pops. Now, the other question I had for you guys is in the YouTube video, they seem to throw it back to Jacob Kahuna, Card Kahuna, as the culprit, but they're skipping over the fact that Mealy Pop Shop bought it and immediately ran it to BBCE to get it authenticated. And what that article pointed out is they probably knowingly went to BBCE because of their ignorance in Pokemon to help authenticate it. Why is Mealy Pop Shop getting out of this? And why are we all hating on Jacob Kahuna? Honestly, why are we hating the Canada guy?
The Canada guy is like the culprit, right? It's not like you don't know how to track him down. That blows my mind, right?
Right. He's no more at fault. Kahuna's no more at fault than Matt Allen in my mind. They're just part of the chain.
Yeah.
Well, here's an interesting thing about Mealy Pops is that if you go to YouTube and look up Rattle Pokemon, puts out a very good video explaining why he thought this case was fake. Mealy Pops apparently, and he spoke about this in his second video, Mealy Pops reached out to him and messaged him and was very upset, stating he was a fraud. He was putting out false information that this case is 100% legit. And without any provocation, really berated this guy. And now knowing this, that's why I said earlier when Mealy Pops came into this, I was like, oh, I now see why Mealy Pops was reaching out.
Yeah.
That does not look good for Mealy Pops.
It doesn't. Like, I'm sure somebody somewhere screenshotted all of that before he deleted it all.
I don't know Mealy Pops at all.
No,
we have never had interaction with him.
Yeah.
In interaction, or I guess watching YouTube videos of card shows, he's always seemed like a very, you don't know me, get out of my face type of guy. I don't know that. But anyway, I thought that interaction was interesting on the YouTube page from Rattle Pokemon.
Tim, in my mind, other than the Canadian eBay seller, I think Mealy Pops is second in the liability chain. What do you think?
I have a tough time with this part. Mealy Pops, I think in his YouTube video, had a guy who called him by the name of Joseph. That's a little fuzzy to me, but somewhere between Canada, Jacob, and this guy, Joseph, somebody, I think, knew that this was a sketchy case.
Well, clearly, between the guy selling it, the first buyer, and the second buyer, someone knew.
What about BBCE? Why aren't they to blame?
I mean, they on their website, they say that they don't insure any of this, right? Like that there's a risk that blah, blah, blah. You know?
It's not that I don't think that they're not to blame. I guess I'm letting them off the hook because they're going to suffer the natural consequences of showing how inept they are at their business model.
They paid their price already, so to speak. But
they're definitely liable for some of this. If you're going to take people's money and say, we'll tell you if it's authentic or not, and millions of dollars, life-changing money changes hands as a result. I find it hard to believe you're not going to be liable on some level.
Steve Hart, it's my understanding that he authenticates packs for PSA.
Yeah, he's like the
Is
guy.
that right?
He's the guy. Like one of my friends sent in a pack just this last 2 weeks and was discussing with him directly about the authenticity.
Did you get G.I. Joe?
No, not G.I. Joe, though. It was,
If you're BBCE, why in the hell would you go on to Logan Paul's YouTube? Even if it's wrong, let him figure that out.
I could not believe it. Could not believe it. I mean, that's them trying to back up their product and their service, right? I mean, that's you're trying to stand behind it, but you better be damn sure that you're right if you do that.
And not just come, but bring reinforcements.
yeah.
To get slaughtered. I mean, my hell.
Steve Hart's eyes at the end of that. Oh, boy. I think he went poopy time in the old pantsaroo.
As soon as they realize that it's not real and start looking at the puffy boxes, watch Steve's eyes from that point forward. Logan Paul is up, jumping around and freaking out and losing his mind. Just focus on BBC owner.
Tells the whole story there.
Oh,
but
my God.
As far as provenance, though, Ricky, I mean, you raised a good point. Like, where does that stop, right? Like, how far back do you trace it and who's ultimately, like, liable, right? I mean, Shine already did the stand-up thing by refunding the 3.5.
Yeah.
I believe there's some money in escrow.
From Mealy Pops?
Mealy Pops, yep. And then the guy before that, so Jacob, I believe, has lawyered up.
Has he really?
That's what I've heard. That's hearsay. You know, like, I don't know. I'm sure that'll be a wrong detail by the time the show comes out, but that's as of today, like, that's what I heard.
Right.
So.
Well, oh man, I honestly, I'd rather be in Jacob's shoes than Mealy Pops than Mealy Pops, especially because Jacob really, I don't think you can knew that he was defrauding anyone.
I don't think
as far as he was concerned, it was a legitimate product.
Yeah.
We should have brought them all on here, all of them, and just let them go.
That would have been great. Yeah.
Therapy sessions with Dr. Tim.
Yeah. I just sit back and listen and just watch. Yeah. What a story, though. I'm sure there will be like some kind of YouTube something that breaks this all down and just goes into all the details. But today, this was as best as I could piece it all together while everything was flying in. So.
Any chance this was all production for hype?
Yes, I thought that throughout.
So?
I think I would not put it past Logan Paul to pull something off like this.
Man,
Too many
so
people probably
steps.
involved.
Yeah, too many
Too many
steps.
Instagram accounts and prominent people.
Yeah,
But boy, oh boy, it got us talking about it. Got me
everybody's
excited
talking
for
about
it.
Yeah.
And this is what the Paul brothers specialize at, getting us to talk about their ass.
And we hate it. We hate
I
it, but then
know.
we're just sucked right in.
So I was ready for this all day. I was waiting for the video to come out.
When Tim sent us the Logan Paul YouTube clip, I clicked on it, saw it was 7 minutes long, and said, "There's no chance I watch this to the end." I watched every second. Damn, that kid is entertaining.
Yeah.
I may not like him, but
Yep.
watching him destroy $3.5 million was pretty epic.
It's an incredible story. It really is.
Yeah. All right, Timmy, you got our closing ready?
Yep.
And I will say this while he does it. If you guys have opinions on this, go to Instagram and tell us, because Tim has offered to take over all Instagram messaging for the weekend. Tim, we appreciate that. I thank you. And Tim will be responding to you and tallying up all the votes. But let us know what you think.
And if you want him to look up any specific cards in his Beckett, ask him for that too.
Yeah. No, that's my specialty right there. Yep.
He'll be providing free price guides to all your cards, no matter how big or small. All right, guys. Well, it's been another fun show for Chad and Tim. This is Ricky, the BBCE Can't Grade Me, wishing all of you a one of one night.
Whoa! Well, guys, I think the time has come for my Jordan.
What?
I think I'm going to go SGC.
Really?
Yep.
This is for
I want it in a slab.
your
I think you need-
PSA 1-ish one, the authentic one.
My PSA, we're not going to slab it, but we're going to charge you for it one.
Yeah. Okay.
I think you should go BCCG.